Okay, so communication. The better you are, the more you make. Very simple. If you can communicate very strongly and effectively with your list, get them to like and trust you and to bond with you, you are in a position of power when it comes to making money from your list. So let's cover a couple things first on autoresponders. We had touched upon autoresponders before and their importance, obviously, because that gives us a way to communicate with our list at the push of a button. Well, there's a couple do's and don'ts when it comes to autoresponders that you want to be aware of. First thing is that you want to have a series of messages that offer high value. The highest value messages need to come earliest in your series. Give your best stuff out first. The reason being is because you don't know how long they're going to stay around. You've got one email to get them to decide if they want to open another email from you. Plain and simple. So make that first email that you send out the rock bottom best email and the best stuff that you have to offer. Okay? Now, the other thing is that you want to give away gifts when you can. And it's always possible to give away gifts. I've got if possible. But there's no matter what business you're in, no matter what niche you're targeting, no matter what your list is, there's always ways to give them stuff. And people love to get free stuff, plain and simple. So the first thing is if you're giving away a free report, that's going to be in your first email. But then you might also want to lead in maybe a PS that they're going to get something in the next email to give them a reason to open it up. And when you get your list in the habit of getting gifts from you, then they're going to be more likely to continue to open your emails and keep subscribed and not unsubscribe. Because the more that you can keep on your list and the more that you can keep opening your emails and then clicking on your links, again, that's where we make the most money. You also don't have too many about the same thing, okay? What I'm referring to here is the actual emails. You don't want to have 20 emails all about the same business over and over and over and over and over again. You want to mix it up because regardless of what you're in, you're building a list of responsive, passionate people. Well, they're not just going to be interested in one thing. So you're going to want to intertwine what your main offer is with other little offers from time to time. And you don't want to harp on them. You don't want your readers to be thinking that you're a one-trick pony just marketing one thing and that's all you care about. You want to show them that you care about them and offer them other things. And there's ways to do this, meaning that you can be trying to get people into a business opportunity, for example, and the first 5 emails talk about that. Well, then maybe the 6th email said, hey, I just ran across this, blah, 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 and I thought that you might, it's a tremendous value to me. I really liked it myself, and I thought that you might like it too. Take a look at this. And it's totally something different. But it's still based around what they're going to be interested in. And that's the key. You still have to understand your makeup of the list, what your list is interested in, and then pass those things on when you can. Okay? You also want to spread your emails out apart every few days. Some people say email your list every day. I don't subscribe to that. You can email your list every day if you are bringing in more people than you're losing. Because when you start emailing every single day, you better have a large list and you better be continuing to add to that list at great numbers because you're going to have a lot of people that get disinterested. If they see that they're getting an email from you every day, it's like, oh my God, they're trying to sell me something else. They're trying to sell me something else. Unless every email that you send out is a great benefit to them and you're not pitching them something. Typically, though, you want to spread your emails out every few days, and then every now and then take a little hiatus. Maybe take 4, 5, 6 days off, and then come back and say, hey, I was out of town for a couple days, and I ran across this, and boom, here it is. And then back to business. But give them a breather every now and then too, because sometimes they'll be like, hey, I wonder where that dude's email is. Then all of a sudden it shows up, you give a reason why you were late, and again, you're bonding with the list. It's so important to bond with the list because you want to get the list to like and trust you. Also, you don't want to email too much, and I think we talked about this, and never, guys, never spam your people. Spamming is just sending out offer after offer after offer after offer and just sales copy. Your emails are sales copy. There's nothing personal in it. You're not talking about them. You're not talking about helping them. You're just talking about selling them. And they could read through it. They don't like it. You're not going to keep members on your list for too long. And any members that stay on your list typically will not open your emails. So don't send spam. Communicate with your list legitimately and get them to like and trust you by giving them good value every time you communicate with them. Let's talk about broadcasting a little bit. Autoresponder messages are messages that you set up ahead of time, and they go out every few days, or however you space them out. They can go out every day, they can go out every few days, you can do 2 a day. It's totally up to you and how you want to work your autoresponder series. But with broadcasting is a little different. Broadcasting is just an email that you send out at that given moment. The main thing about broadcasting that you want to do to make sure that your list understands that it's not an autoresponder message is refer to the time and the place when you're sending so they know that it's current. Hey, it's Friday morning here on the 15th. I just wanted to send this out to you real quick. I just ran across this. This is going to be a very limited offer, and if it's something that of interest to you, then by all means jump on this quick. Anyway, I'm off to the golf course. I'll see you a little bit later. P.S. whatever. But in the broadcast, you're referring to that given moment in time. Now, you could set your broadcast to go at a certain time. You can actually schedule it ahead of time. So let's say I wanted to send out a broadcast on Monday. Well, I can write the email, hey, it's Monday morning, I'm just putting this together for you, yada, yada, yada. And then through my autoresponder service, I can actually schedule when I want it to go out. So you can make it look like a broadcast, but it's scheduled. But broadcasting is very powerful because it puts you in the moment. And it lets them know that you're actually really a person communicating with them. Also, use short subject lines. Don't use monstrous subject lines with huge benefits. Just short, pithy, to-the-point subject lines. Amazing. Awesome. Bad news. This rocks. Did you get this? These are subject lines that are typically what you'll find from communications among friends and family. Because understand what email really is. Email is just a quick way to communicate with those that we know, or those that we're looking to get information from. And typically we're looking, we can decipher what's spam and what's not. Well, you want to come across as a friend. You want to make a friend with your prospects. And you don't want to take up a lot of their time. And that's why you also want to keep your emails short and to the point. Your emails are not sales letters, guys. I don't know how many times I'll subscribe to somebody's list just to look at their email messages, and I'll get an email message that's like 4 scrolls down. And it just goes on and on and on and on. Just keep them short and to the point. Also, I don't have this on here, but don't go crazy with the HTML. Don't make your emails all full of bright colors and different text and all this crazy stuff. It looks like crap, and you don't have a professional view from your audience. It's just like, oh my God, that looks awful. Okay, make your emails, you could put HTML in them as far as maybe bolding something here or there, or HTMLing your link, which I'll talk about in a minute. But you want to typically make it look like it's a plain text email. Because in your email services, your autoresponders, you'll have a place to make a plain text and an HTML. You want to send out both because most people can get HTML, but some people can't, so they can only get plain text. But you want to make your email look sort of like as much as plain text as possible. Also, you don't want to include any more than 3 links. A lot of people include several different links. Now, the other thing is, and I'll talk about this in a minute too, a lot of this overlaps, guys. As far as the 3 links, I'm not talking about sending them to 3 different sites. I'm talking about one site, 3 links for that site. You're going to have maybe first little paragraph, 2 sentences, and then you're going to have your link. Maybe another 2, 3 sentences, then your link, another 2, 3 sentences, close, PS, link. That's typically what works best. Don't put several different links leading to several different actions leading to several different places. You're confusing them. You want your email to have a specific point, and then you also want to include a reason for the email every time possible. You want to bring them into your world on why you're doing what you're doing, and give them a reason that they can grab hold of and utilize and say, oh, okay, I get it. Cool. Now I understand. Let's talk about some email tips now as far as communicating with your prospects. First of all, we've already covered this. It's not a sales letter. Have a specific point in the email and one call to action. The call to action is to click your link. The subject line is to open the email. The email is to click the link. So that's why we use short, concise subject lines. Very short to the point. Relax. I wonder what the hell that means. Also, I don't have this on here either, but keep in mind that on some email services, when they're looking at emails, they'll see your first sentence. So if you know that going in, make your first sentence long and not to the point. Make your first sentence a curiosity building sentence, and make your second point or your second sentence where you actually answer what the email is about. Because if they can look at the email, Gmail is specific on this I'm referring to. If you look at Gmail and you see your subject line and then you've got a sentence afterwards, okay, I can judge sometimes what that email is about with that sentence. But I have to open it if that sentence is a curiosity building sentence or playing upon the subject line, and I still don't know what the hell the point is. I have to click on it. So keep that in mind as far as your first sentence will show up in many internet or many email accounts. So have that first sentence a little longer and then have your call to action underneath of it as far as what the email is specifically about. Use HTML to hide the link. What I'm referring to here is when you are in your editing process in your autoresponder, you're able to use plain text and HTML text. So what I typically do is I'll make my email in the plain text first. I will then copy and paste it right above it into the HTML section. Well, in doing so, I can then highlight certain sentences or broken sentences and put the link in there. So when the person gets the email, they might see incredible video highlighted in a hyperlink. So they're not actually seeing the link or my affiliate link, let's say. They're seeing incredible video. So they click on it. And it's a way to hide the link and include it in the email. So what you're doing is you're actually using a call to action with your HTML code. And again, it's very simple. You just highlight it, hit the world with the link on it, put the link that you want it to go to, and it's all done. Seen that in the other videos. Okay, but again, you don't want to overplay this. You don't want to put too many things in there. But like I said, 2-3 links for the call to action is plenty. No more than 3. Depending on the size of the email, I like 3. That is typical with the emails that you get. There's nothing wrong with 2 either. If it's a smaller email, 2 is great. And then always include a personal PS. And the PS is where a lot of people scroll to right away, believe it or not. They open an email and they'll scroll right to the PS. But the PS, in many instances, should sum up what that whole email was about, and again, give another call to action for the link right below it. There's some other reasons for the PS as well, but many times that's what we use it for. So more tips about communicating with your list through email is that you want to track the email opens and the clicks. You could do this for your service. You just tell them that you want to track the email opens and stuff, and then as you send out a broadcast, you could track that for your autoresponder messages. You just simply have to look in the reports section, and then you'll find a place where it says follow-up. Usually it's something along the lines of follow-up percentages. Subscribed, unsubscribed, all that stuff. And then you could see through the autoresponder list or emails that you're sending out, you want to do some analysis of it and see, okay, which emails are getting opened the most, which emails are getting the most clicks, and then you can tweak and review and adjust your campaigns based on the performance of what's actually going on. Again, this is a business, guys, and you have to know your numbers, you have to know your analytics, and reporting is very, very important. So you want to keep track of your email opens and clicks. Also, this is really what we were talking about before with the PS. You want to have a secret language when possible that only your regular readers would know. You want them to be part of your clique. part of your club. And then you'll be able to bond with those people even stronger. And those people that don't understand, they will feel like they're left out, and they're going to want to read more of your emails. Okay, so sometimes I'll include secret language where I'll talk about my family. I'll maybe drop my son or daughter's name or my dog's name, or something along those lines, where only people that know me and know the names of my kids would understand what I'm talking about. Okay, and there's lots of other ways that you could do this, but it's a bonding method that is very, very strong to your readers. And the better that you do this, the more you bond with the list, and the more they buy your stuff. Of course, you want to be yourself, and for longer emails, you want to use breaks. And what I'm referring to here is either you could use like the asterisk or the dash, and what this does is it causes attention for what you want to stand out. So let's say you do have a rather long email. Let's say it's like 4 to 7 paragraphs. Okay, and they're like 1 to 2 paragraphs, or 1 to 2 sentences a paragraph. Well, let's say you really want to call out a certain point of this email. Well, what you can do is draw a line, or type out a line of asterisk, put your pithy, straight to the point little comment right underneath of it, and then draw an asterisk underneath of it. So what you're doing is you're just making like a little headline for yourself, and then have exactly what you want underneath of it. Same thing is true with any sort of symbols. Okay, in a row, it sort of breaks apart the email a little bit. And what this does is it causes attention, and it will also stop the scanners. Those evil scanners. Okay, those people that just open the email, scan it real quick, and boom, they're on to the next one. Well, what the scanners will do is they'll go right to the main attentive point. If it grabs them, they click. If it doesn't, they click out anyway. But the fact is that you have more of a chance to grab them if you have an attention break, is what we call it, an attention break in the email. Very, very simple. Okay. The last thing that I really want to cover here with you guys is what is known as the triangle of trust. There it is. You trust me? Yeah, it's a triangle. It's a triangle of trust. Okay, this is an extremely effective method I got from Frank Kern. Frank Kern is a legendary internet marketer, and he does this better than anybody else. But basically what he does is he starts with an email. And then in that email, he sends them to the blog. Now here's the thing. The blog actually has a video that he's done on it. So the email says something along the lines of, hey, I just shot this great video for you. I think you're really going to dig it. You're going to get some really great information. I put it up on my blog for you to check out. Here's my link to my blog. Go take a look at it. And what he does is he sends them to his blog. Now, he could easily just, send them to the video, okay, but he's sending them to his blog. Now, there's a couple reasons for this. The fact is that blogs are identified as places where you get news. It's not mean to be sold anything. I mean, blogs are not sales pages, so the credibility of what they're viewing or getting from the blog intensifies, and their guard comes down as far as being sold anything. Now, why videos? Well, videos are extreme value. And when someone does a video for you, it's a lot more valuable in the eyes of the consumer than, hey, I wrote a blog post. It's like, great, wonderful, you wrote a blog post, who cares? Well, I just did this 25-minute video regarding X, Y, and Z. Oh, really? A video? Wow, cool, cool. Where can I take a look at it? Well, go take a look at my blog. Oh, blog, that's information. No, he's not selling me anything. That's just good information for me. Well, then at the end of the video, and there's a link underneath the video, guess what? We're sending them to the sales page. And the effectiveness of this method is extremely high when done properly. The fact is that psychologically, people are more apt to move forward because of how this works. Because of the fact that they're getting value from the email itself. You're not pushing anything on them. You're not selling anything to them. You're just, hey, take a look at my blog. Then they come to the blog and they see the video that you did. This, again, works best with videos because they have more perceived value. They watch the video, and then at the end of the video, you create a call to action. Now, typically you want to have about 90% content to about 5% sales pitch or 10% sales pitch. 95% content, 5% sales pitch. The sales pitch is more of like, hey, by the way, if you really like this and you want to improve X, Y, Z and, really make this best, I put a link here for you. It's up to you. If you want to take a look at it, fantastic. But it's worked well for me, and I feel that it's going to work well for you. That's kind of the flow in how the message comes across, and then you send them to the sales page. Works extremely effective. So that's the triangle of trust and some methods as far as, really improving the communication, with your list. So let's just look at another thing here as far as the easiest ways to profit from your list. So number one, we talked about building a rabid bunch of consumers, passionate. They're rabid about what they want and what they need. And then we want to continue to market to them. You want to bond with that list and get them to like and trust you. That is extremely important. The like and trust angle of this cannot be stated heavier, because people buy from those they like and trust. That's what it's about. Okay? They buy from those they like and trust, period. And what you want to do in order to get them to like and trust you and to really build that bond and to build that relationship is provide them with good, solid, useful content on a regular basis. And basically all we're doing is we're finding out what they are most interested in and then finding products that fill those needs. You are providing a service for these people. Understand that. You are providing a service that you're saying, okay, listen, I understand that you're a passionate consumer of X. And I'm a passionate consumer of X. I like the stuff myself too. And here's some good stuff that I've learned about X that can help you right away. Well, as a passionate consumer of X, I felt that you might like this as well because I liked it. And other people that are passionate about this liked it. So, hey, take a look at it. So what you're doing is you're providing a service to the consumers to find out what they want and then just filling their needs. And then ultimately what we do is we send them emails endorsing what they want anyway and then giving them a way to buy from you. And buying from you is their way of saying thank you. In essence, and as simply as I could put it, this is how we make money online. It's not complicated. The fact of the matter is that we find a market that is passionate. We then build a list in that market. We get them to like and trust us. We continue to provide them good and useful content on a regular basis. We're not spamming them. We're not trying to sell them every offer under the sun. We then, through market research, find out what these people are buying. Find out what product fills their needs. Find out what they're interested in. What are they mostly passionate about in that niche, in that X, whatever. And then we communicate with them mostly through emails, endorsing what it is that they want anyway. And because they like and trust us, they ultimately buy from us. And then we just make a piece of the action. Now, if you're doing affiliate marketing, you're marketing other people's products. If you're creating your own info products, you're marketing your own products. If you're in a business opportunity, you're marketing the business opportunity and what the business can do for them. And in many ways, we intertwine a lot of this, the business opportunity, the affiliate marketing, the info products, we intertwine it among our whole business. Because we can't do everything for everyone. So that's where your endorsement to other people and other products comes in. But if you can master this, if you can go through the learning curve of figuring out and putting to use what we're talking about here with this system, and you lay it all out and you build the list and you respond and communicate with that list, get them to like and trust you, they will respond by buying from you, and you're going to be very profitable along the way. So I hope that was helpful to you. I hope you got a lot out of it, and I really hope that you'll start putting into action what we've talked about here today. Thanks again.